Doctor's addressing the allegations. It's so boring. He's just going to say, oh, I don't know about this. Do you think anything crazy is going to come out of this?
All parties were still prohibited from speaking publicly about the case or the settlement. However, if one side violated that confidentiality, then the other side could respond. And again, champs, I respected all the confidential obligations.
Just as a heads up, as one of the only people that actually reads through most of the contracts that he signs, which is why I don't get contract fucked, oftentimes contracts will have a clause in them. I don't know what the name of this clause is. I'm pretty sure it's boilerplate because I've seen it. Boilerplate because I've seen them in multiple contracts I've signed. But it'll say something to the effect of, just because one part of this contract is broken doesn't mean that the rest of the contract is null and void. Now, I don't know if that applies to the NDA or whatever legal agreements that he signed, but just something to keep in mind if you're ever in a position where you're signing contracts. Just because one party breaks some clause or some part of the contract doesn't mean that it's all like garbage. You could just say whatever. But again, that's a general statement based on my personal experiences that might not apply to whatever he's talking about. I don't know, who the fuck knows. Also, remember, things like NDA, well... Never mind, actually. I was going to say, for people in my position, things like NDAs and this shit, they don't really matter that much because chances are whatever you're NDAing, there's going to be way more negative public fallout or damage than what the fuck the NDA would ever protect you from. Like when you start dealing with like famous people, you start dealing with like big companies and shit, like you can try to NDA somebody, but like if they leak some shit that's going to destroy your company and you're going to lose like 7-8 figures worth of value, you're probably never getting that money back in any type of like civil court setting or third party arbitration. Like you're just fucked. So always keep that in mind too. Contracts are, what's the guy in, what's the name of the captain of the Black Pearl before Jack gets it back? The Pirates Code, they're more like guidelines. Contracts are kind of sort of like that sometimes.
But even then, as part of the settlement, all parties were still prohibited from speaking publicly about the case or the settlement.
Are mail-in ballots actually less secure? Is there any reason to buy that argument? I mean, I feel like just by virtue of them being mail-in ballots, no, I don't feel like they're less secure. My intuition is to say that obviously it seems like you could fake a mail-in ballot easier than you could fake showing up at a polling place, but you could just probably fake showing up at a polling place, right? If you've got voter ID at the polling place, then maybe not. If it's a photo ID, and if the people are actually paying attention, then I guess it'd be a little bit harder. Getting a fake ID seems pretty trivial, though. And then, do they use like blue light? I think in Nebraska, they didn't use a they didn't have any. They didn't even check ID, actually. They just asked for your address and verified your name. So, I don't know. I'm not. So I don't know if there's any reason to think that one would be more secure than the other.
However, if one side violated that confidentiality, then the other side could respond. And again, champs, I respected all the confidential obligations.
My assumption would be that mail-in ballots are slightly less secure than... That would just be based on like a priori... Like my prior assumptions would just say that, but I haven't like looked into it at all.
But apparently Twitch's own disgruntled employees didn't feel the need to abide by those same obligations. Cody Connors, ex-Twitch employee, wasn't even involved, leaks Twitch's reported reason. Years later. Cody, why do this? What was the point? This was settled professionally. And you, knowing how black and white the internet is, you decided, you fucking rat, to leak the reported reason Twitch banned me in 2020. Well, I mean, for what? Cody, why? Did you not know the repercussions from spewing lies about the two-time? Did you not know the repercussions of accusing me, Cody Connors? You see, you don't know.
So, like, this would be the thing that... And nobody cares or knows or whatever, any of this. This is... Okay, so here's the game that I'm playing. Oh, fuck, I can't tell. Never mind, fuck, my brain. When people like Benny Johnson and people like Martin Shkreli and people like... who else? I think there's a third person I did this to. People will say things like, if I hear people talking shit about me, I'm going to sue them, or I'll sue you, or I'll sue you, right? Anytime I see somebody say that, if I know they're full of shit, I'll tweet at them, and I'll say, hey, sue me, let's do it. If you want to do that, yeah, like Benny Johnson, I know Martin Shkreli did this. I was like, oh, okay, yeah, I think he did steal his shit. Sue me if you want. When people are saying shit like this, oh, I'm going to start suing people, you must be very confident in your opinion. In that case, okay, well, let's see it. Let's do it. Let's go to court, and you can show me. If Dr. Disrespect is being honest here, and if everything Cody is saying is a lie, I feel like this would qualify for some type of civil litigation. But then the question would be, well, is Dr. Disrespect suing him? And if not, Why not? That would be my question, right? When he's making all of this so public. If you think that he's like clearly defaming you, or he's clearly lying about a thing. What is the response to conservatives arguing that Trump's property fraud is just common business practice and he's being targeted for political reasons? The reason why Republicans are able to think that's part of the propaganda model of saying everything is fucked. The nice thing about saying the entire system is fucked and destroyed is that anytime somebody on your side gets caught with anything, you can say, oh, well, look, everyone's doing it. It's just not true. If it was true, then our country would be like collapsing. Yeah. Cody is too poor to pay out, probably. Who cares? You win the case publicly. It looks good for you. No? That you were able to secure a settlement, or you, at the very least, you could get him to retract his statements, right? Especially if he's too poor, no?
Oh, shit. And it was obvious from your tweet. You didn't have any firsthand knowledge of my dispute with Twitch. You said that I got banned from professionally.
I can't believe you had me roped into this stupid shit. Now we have to listen to it carefully. Now I'm curious what he's going to say.
And you, knowing how black and white the internet is, you decided, you fucking rat, to leak the reported reason Twitch banned me in 2020. I mean, for what? Cody? Why?
Why would you spend 2 years and hundreds of thousands of dollars? We can just get the same W by just dunking on him on a stream for which hundreds of thousands of dollars in 2 years? How long would this take? That hundreds of thousands of dollars in 2 years is assuming that you're going like the full 9 yards, all your pretrial shit. You're going to trial. You're going to try in front of a judge. You're doing. That'd be like, there's no shot. It'd be less than 50K would be my guess. And that's like with a hefty amount of like writing and research and everything else before going to court. There's no way a thing like this would actually go to court if one of them is clearly in the fucking wrong, right?
Did you not know the repercussions from spewing lies about the two-time? Did you not?
Is that his real hair or is it a wig? My understanding is initially he wore a wig, but I think eventually he just grew his hair out to be like this.
Did you not know the repercussions from spewing lies about the two-time? Did you not know the repercussions of accusing me, Cody Connors? You see, you don't know shit, and it was obvious from your tweet. You didn't have any firsthand knowledge of my dispute with Twitch. You said that I got banned from Twitch because I was sexting a minor through Whispers messages? Do you even know what the legal definition of sexting is? I do. And yeah, I used Twitch's Whispers, but trust me, I wasn't sexting anyone.
Like when you're playing on the definitions here like this, so it sounds like they were probably having a sexually explicit conversation, but they weren't actually engaged in like cyber sexing. We used to call it cybering when I grew up, but that's all I'm hearing there. But okay.
You also said the word minor, Cody. I even made sure that word was emphasized in my statement, edited, etc., just to make sure these so-called journalists would pick up on it. And boy, oh boy, did they ever, champs. When you and all these so-called journalists, Cody, fired off your tweets, did any of you consider that the Twitch user may have been over the legal age of consent at the time of the messages?
Meaning that she was probably 16 or 17 is what that probably means.
You didn't. Neither did any of these journalists, and neither did Twitch at the time of the ban.
Notice that he's saying she was over the age of consent, but he's not saying that she was an adult, and he's not saying that she wasn't a minor. He's just saying she was over the legal age of consent.
Consider that the Twitch user may have been over the legal age of consent at the time of the messages? You didn't. Neither did any of these journalists, and neither did Twitch at the time of the ban. You also tried to tell the world that I was trying to meet up with this user at TwitchCon, but you're wrong. Let's set the record straight. I never intended to meet this user ever. We never made plans to meet at TwitchCon or anywhere else, and in fact, we never met in person ever. Your bullshit accusations gave false courage to other former Twitch employees to make shit up as well.
Okay. We'll see what he says by the end of this. He's never, ever, ever suing any of the people involved because the actual truth is probably fairly close-ish to what the guy said, but it's not that she was probably 17. They were probably having sexually explicit dialogue, and they probably kind of like joked about or talked about meeting up, but there was never like a specific time or place involved, and that's like the story that he's going with. That's my guess. But there's no way that those hazy details would be enough to nail the other dude, would be my guess. Who is the Cody he's talking about? Cody, is it Cody Connors? Or am I making that name up?
I suspect all of you sort of planned and coordinated this attack. These big-time publications...
Or is it Cody Evoli? I don't know what's coming to my mind. Eoli? What's the name of that Mayo shit? It's like mayonnaise but fancy, so I'll eat it. Aioli, right? A-I-O-L, whatever the fuck. Yeah.
These journalists, these various outlets are sort of just gossip channels now. Don't you think, champs? They act like they're just gossip channels now, without any real journalism and real research happening. They reported on all this based on leaks from 2 former Twitch employees, one of whom was supposedly on the trust and safety team.
Were you ever connected to Dr. Disrespect at all? No. We should have killed him one time in a battle royale, but RNA or Mr. Moon or somebody else fucked up. Whoever fucked up, it definitely wasn't me.
If these anonymous sources worked on the trust and safety team at the time of my Twitch suspension in 2020, then you would hope they would tell the truth. But apparently that's just too much to ask. If these former trust and safety team members, and by the way, I know exactly who they are, actually had firsthand knowledge, then what they conveniently left out is, 1, Twitch's trust and safety team, the same employees that decided to ban me, internally admitted that the whisper messages were not sexting. And 2, Twitch's trust and safety team, the same employees that decided to ban me, internally acknowledged that the whispers did not constitute child sexual abuse material CSAM.
So they were probably just sexually explicit messages, inappropriate sexually explicit messages with a 16 or 17-year-old, but it didn't rise to the level of sexting, however they're defining that, and the girl wasn't beneath the age of 16 and there were no pictures exchanged or exact places to meet up decided, we might guess.
I'll say it again. Neither I nor the Twitch user exchanged any sexual graphic messages or images.
Yeah.
Cody Connors and these other anonymous sources are trying to paint a picture that I was exchanging sexually explicit messages and photos with this Twitch user. That never happened. I even used the word inappropriate, purposely. And look at how it's defined by everyone, champs. Huh? Including these defaming articles. I'm sorry, but mutual bantering with inappropriate jokes taken out of context should have never led to me getting banned from Twitch in the first place. I mean, how would each of you look if all of your private DMs, your text messages, your chats were looked at, dissected, and taken out of context by someone who's deliberately trying to find something inappropriate in those words? And this is not a situation where a victim publicly accuses someone of wrongdoing. That never happened here. We're talking about allegations that Twitch made against me as a half-baked reason for justifying their actions of suspending and shutting down my channel. Allegations that Twitch made without even a legal analysis of whether the whisper messages were legal! You see, I engage with my community. I engage with other streamers. And through Twitch Whispers, I communicate with Twitch users. Conversations that consisted of a variety of playing games and gaming politics, content creation, random stuff. This was the extent of my whispers with this Twitch user. On June 21st, 2020, my ex-Twitch partner manager learns that I exchanged whispers with the Twitch user. And I say ex-partner manager because for years, this guy didn't do anything for me, my community, or my channel. For years. I'm talking no front page love. We're talking about the face of the platform, right? Literally.
It is a question of why would Twitch ban him, though? Man, why would Twitch ban him? They must have been pretty inappropriate messages, would be my guess. But, geez.
Face of the platform. And I know Champions Club remembers this. We got zero front page love on the website. He was never on my channel. He didn't follow me on Twitter. He wouldn't even inform us about...
I think this is live or pre-recorded. Probably live. It could be pre-recorded, though. I'm sure he's got a script or something in front of him.
Twitch rival tournaments. We're talking about the two-time Twitch rival tournament. Oh, I'm sorry. Would you want to play in it? We got zero support from this guy. And it was just so obvious that he carried a grudge against the two-time.
He didn't take your advice of coming back as Dr. Respect. He went Goblin and stuff. I mean, he'll just go back to gaming after this, right?
So after we signed with Twitch in 2019, we asked for a new partner manager. And just a few months later, that ex-Twitch partner manager is directly involved with getting me banned. Coincidence?
When Slasher said that the DMs can't be leaked because they are child sexual assault material, isn't he directly refuting that? I think that was a guess from Slasher. My understanding, based on my conversation with Slasher like 4 years ago, is he never saw the exact DMs. I don't know if that's changed recently or not. I don't know if he said anything differently recently or not. But I don't believe Slasher's ever seen those DMs, or at least he hadn't when this was a long time ago. He, at least at that point, but...
The Twitch user tells the ex-Twitch...
But I don't think he claimed to have seen those DMs. He's just saying that, like, if it was like this, it wouldn't leak because you wouldn't just repost it online, right?
Partner manager that they do not want to report anything to Twitch. I'll repeat that sentence one more time just in case anybody missed that one. The Twitch user tells this ex-Twitch partner manager that they do not want to report anything to Twitch.
But is going full-on right-wing pandering a viable strategy for him? No, I don't think he's going to do that. Or Dan thinks he's going to do that. I just don't think politics is just such a weird switch for him. He's going to lose his whole audience. He's just probably going to keep gaming, would be my guess.
The Twitch user tells this ex-Twitch partner manager...
He said he never saw the DMs the last time you and Dan talked to him. Oh, yeah, okay, yeah.
Anything to Twitch. I'll repeat that sentence one more time just in case anybody missed that one. The Twitch...
If there isn't anything bad, why wouldn't the doc just release them? because there probably is some stuff that's kind of bad. And even if there wasn't anything bad, why the fuck would he release them? There are some people that said that I was a pedophile because I said there were hot 15 and 16-year-olds trying to fuck you at gaming conferences when I was like 22 or something. Like, people are like, ugh. So I mean, like, it's not, yeah, why the fuck would you even release shit like this?
User tells this ex-Twitch partner manager that they do not want to report anything to Twitch. But this ex-Twitch partner manager encourages the user and even directs them to file a report directly with Twitch, even though the user told him clearly that we never physically met anywhere and that no photographs were exchanged. On June 24th, 2020, Twitch's special operations team receives and reviews the user's report. They find no issues and determine that it did not warrant any further escalation to Twitch's law enforcement response team.
Do you think if he took your advice of shutting the fuck up and keep streaming, he'd be okay in a couple of weeks? He'll probably be fine. I'm sure he'll be okay, yeah.
Enforcement response team. That would have been the end. That should have been the end. But that partner manager, oh boy, did he had it out. He had it out for the two time. He finds out that no further action will be taken, so what does he do? He personally escalates the report to a friend on the Twitch's LER team. The LER team, remember, that's the Twitch's law enforcement response team. He escalates the report to a friend on Twitch's LER team.
Oh, wait, hold on. This is technically new shit. Hold on.
Views the user's report. They find no issues and determine that it did not warrant any further escalation to Twitch's law enforcement response team.
Okay.
That would have been the end. That should have been the end. But that partner manager, oh boy, did he had it out. He had it out for the two time. He finds out that no further action will be taken, so what does he do? He personally escalates the report to a friend on the Twitch's LER team. The LER team, remember, that's the Twitch's law enforcement response team. He escalates the report to a friend on Twitch's LER team. So a day later, on June 25th, the LER analyst pulls the entirety of the Whisper messages and begins discussing them with his director of the LER team. Mind you, this director is on vacation at that time and does not have access to their computer or work files. Let me just remind.
Okay, wait. Dustin, you were banned for a pretty stupid reason. Maybe the doc is in a similar position. This is completely and totally different. My content, because I do political stuff, is always going to be way more on the edge. And I'm going to always be somewhat of a liability to any platform that hosts me. The doc was pretty much just a straight asset to Twitch. I think the doc was on a huge upswing. He was very popular and one of the most popular types of gaming content. Like, Twitch had really good reason to keep the doctor on. Twitch, I'm always like a risky, what's an expression for something? Box of dynamite? That's not a real thing. No, not liability. What's like a brand risk? A hot potato. Let's go with that. I was always a hot potato. Anything could happen, you know? But the doc was pretty brand safe. So to cut him was like pretty crazy, I think.
Director is on vacation at that time and does not have access to their computer or work files. Let me just remind you, I went through a big time arbitration. Okay. And, you discover a lot of stuff. Mind you, this director is on vacation at that time. The LER analyst cherry picks and sends a few targeted excerpts out of context from the Whisper messages to this director. Now, if you do this, you can make anyone's messages look inappropriate, even when they aren't. Within less than 1 hour, this LER analyst and his director have made the decision to suspend me from Twitch. Twitch submits a report to NCMEC. You guys all read those little articles, huh? The NCMEC. Twitch submits that report. The National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. Guess what? As far as I know, and over 4 years have passed, they didn't do anything with the report. As far as I know, they didn't escalate Twitch's report to law enforcement. Mind you, the same people that made this decision admit internally that the messages did not constitute sexting. The same people that made this decision at Twitch admit internally that the messages did not warrant any child sexual abuse material charge.
So I could be wrong because I don't know. I don't know. I just don't know his audience. I don't know the community that he plays to. So my assumption of how he should handle this could be off. Maybe he is doing the best thing. But I feel like there are enough facts in his favor that he could release like a type of statement that would be really positive. Like, if he owns up to I had conversation with somebody, they were a younger fan, they got a little inappropriate given the age, shouldn't have made some of the jokes I did, absolutely not okay. Absolutely not okay. Haven't done it since. We'll never do it again. However, there was no, and then he can go into the this was escalated to all these people before there was no child sexual abuse material, there was no investigations, or there was an investigation or whatever, there was no wrongdoing found. Twitch decided there was no wrongdoing. Like, he could have gone here, but he fights so hard against literally any wrongdoing whatsoever, and then he's like hard. He's like very precisely, cutting exactly into like, well, he said that she was a minor, but actually she was of the legal sexual age of consent. It's like, why not just like own up and say, oh yeah, I shouldn't have done this, I won't do it again, rather than splitting hairs so much on this. But I don't know, maybe for his audience, maybe it's important to not,
Twitch makes this decision to terminate my contract and ban me while admitted.
Will Twitch make a statement after this? I don't think Twitch has any reason to make a statement after this. I would be surprised if they did.
They did not perform any legal analysis of whether the messages exchanged were illegal in any way. Twitch makes this decision to terminate my contract and ban me while admitting that they never investigated the age of consent in the jurisdiction where the user's messages were sent and received. Twitch makes this decision to terminate my contract.
Like, god damn, those statements. Or maybe I'm just too internet brained. Maybe to normal people. Maybe actually that could be it too. I might be very like internet coded and very libertarian coded, where as soon as I hear somebody start like rambling on about like the age of consent, my brain is like, what's going on here? Maybe ordinary people don't care or think about it as much, but like that wording is like so precise.
Messages exchanged were illegal in any way. Twitch makes this decision to terminate my contract and ban me while admitting that they never investigated the age of consent in the jurisdiction where the user's messages were sent and received. Twitch makes this decision to terminate my contract and ban me without ever interviewing me, the user, or any other third party, including the partner manager. It's fucking unbelievable! I'm not going to get into every detail regarding my legal case, but these former Twitch employees that claim to have firsthand knowledge, they just don't have a clue. They didn't report any facts. The judge in the case determined that the whispers were not illegal. So then why did Twitch use these messages against me? Why did Twitch treat the doc so differently from...
So when he says the judge in the case, I think most of usually when you sign contracts, I'm pretty sure this is in mind for Twitch, it's third party. It's usually you agree to arbitration. I think Twitch picks the company, but there's somebody that arbitrates this. You don't actually go to court for it. I think he's probably talking about either an arbitration judge that isn't like part of the court system, or he's just talking about whoever at Twitch overviewed it and said that there was nothing improper. However, you don't need a legal violation to ban somebody from your platform. Now, is it a morality clause that you would have in a contract that makes it so that if you do things that are harmful to the reputation of Twitch, they could terminate your contract? Maybe. I think they're usually called morality clauses. I don't have a sponsor or anything. I haven't filled out contracts in quite a while. It's a contract provision that limits the behavior of a party or individual to the contract. They can be found in many different types of contracts, including employment agreements, custody orders, and endorsement contract. Do you have your old contract? Yeah, it's sitting in my inbox somewhere. So Twitch could still terminate his contract even if he didn't do anything illegal, but they are violating. My guess is the contract had terms, like a term length. So my guess is they paid him out. That'd be my guess, but
there are other streamers. I mean, outside of the obvious. I mean, just take a look at me. Unfiltered.
The doc was a total brand risk for what?
What's up?
The realest mother.
Hi, what's up?
I just wanted to clarify a couple of things. One, when I'm hearing the doc talk, this seems to imply that it's probably in another country, which is why he's harping on the age of consent thing. And then the second thing...
Wait, why do we think that? It could very easily just be like in a state where the age of consent is 16, no?
It could be, absolutely. Mm-hmm. But if the judge is determining nothing is illegal and something like that, it seems to seem like that it's probably a national thing. And when he goes to say they didn't even look at the age of jurisdiction or the age of consent in a given jurisdiction, that seems to suggest, at least to me personally, that it's probably he was talking to somebody from another country.
I think it's still very easily
where
be
they
a
just
state. Also, when he says judge, I don't think he's necessarily meaning like a trial judge or something. Like it could just be whoever.
Arbitration judge.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So in arbitration, generally speaking, there is an actual judge that rules on things and will rule on motions and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. Most notably, arbitration judges tend to be retired judges. So it's like one avenue when you're actually a professional judge to then retire and become a arbitration judge.
Sure.
And they come from all over. And as far as the morality clauses, yes, they're actually still enforced and still quite common. Like if you're a Disney person, you're probably under a morality contract if you're like on a big movie or something like that.
My guess is going to be for almost anything involving large entertainment, you're absolutely going to have morality clauses. Yeah, in your, of course, yeah.
If you're on like a child's television show, there's going to be absolutely a morality
My guess
clause,
is
'cause they
literally
don't want, like,
on every television show you'll have morality clauses. People get dropped from movies and shit from
Yep,
yeah.
yep. But I'm saying particularly like a guaranteed one would be like a child's television show, because you wouldn't want like the dad of the family to be like, oh, this guy was like banging hookers and had a pound of blow in his back seat, sort of deal. Like that would look bad for the show.
Yep.
Obviously.
Okay.
Okay. It's all I wanted to clear up. I'll let you have Dan.
Have fun. Be careful.
Right.
I just got here.
Fucker in this
What did
industry.
the doc say?
It's just saying the same shit he said before, basically.
6'8", gorgeous, athletic, successful, college degree, college athlete, bourbon business, gaming studio, beautiful family. And trust me, we've worked hard for over a decade to improve as a person, a husband, and father, and to get where we're at today. I mean, I'm in such a good place today. And all these
Why do you think he decided to do this in character? Wouldn't it be more authentic if he did this as Guy Beam? Because he is his character now. I don't think he ever does anything out of character.
people, they all act like they're just so perfect. I'm not perfect. I don't claim to be perfect. Sometimes I do. But I also didn't do all the shit that they're saying I did. But then that doesn't make a story, right? They wanted media attention. The media wants controversy. And by sensationalizing all of this with big, inaccurate headlines like sexting and sexually explicit, you all got what you wanted at the expense of the due time. The reality is, they wanted to cut down the doc. Plain and simple. Take a look at some of these horrendous acts of Twitch streamers that were never banned. I've got some examples right here. Example number 1. A streamer that frequently used the N-word while publicly streaming, which constitutes a violation of Twitch's policies if accompanied by hateful intent. Twitch scheduled a meeting with the streamer to ascertain his intent to determine whether his conduct was a violation of Twitch's policies, ultimately determining it was not a breach of Twitch's policies. Why wasn't I called into a meeting? Why wasn't my intent taken into consideration, champs?
Why does he always blow up with a 2-time champ like Zerka with his 100K overnight spiel? Well, I mean, it's part of his character. It's part of the meme.
Example number 2. Streamer was reported for discussing doing things with deceased animals and discussing pedophilia, all while live streaming. Never suspended, but instead given a multi-million-dollar contract. Example number 3.
Who is he? Is he naming names? Who's he talking about?
Who
Streamer
is
was reported
that?
for a sexually explicit stream involving children and telling children to send Snapchats of them playing with themselves. Never suspended, but instead given a multi-million-dollar contract. It's so obvious that certain Twitch executives, employees involved had personal biases against the doc and used all this as an opportunity to terminate my contract. Go back and look at the timing of all this too. The doc's termination lines up with 2 preferable, profitable, and expensive streamers leaving Mixer. As soon as Twitch knew that Mixer had failed, and go look at the timing. These other expensive streamers needed a new streaming platform. So Twitch rushed through its decision to terminate the 2-time. You see, I shouldn't even be banned from Twitch. It has affected us on so many levels. Back in 2020, and now in 2024. And Cody, Connors, I just have to say it again. Why would you do this? Like I said, this was handled professionally years ago. No fucking wrongdoing. But because of you, Cody, we just lost. Fuck, man.
Oh, he got demonetized on YouTube or something, right?
Unfortunately, we have to lay off people from Midnight Society. Right? Because of you, Cody.
We were first, by the way.
You know, through all this, we are where we are. And like a fucking man, I'll accept it. But I don't accept to sitting quietly by and let these idiots attack me with false accusations. No. For all these doc haters out there too, oh man, the ones that project and worry about everyone else's problems, right? I can't understand that mindset. I could care less. We've always stayed in our lane. But somehow, some way, these people, they just get in our lane. For all you doc haters, I'm sure you'll just dissect all of this and still find a way to publicly criticize me. Do what you need to do. I'll say this isn't for you. This was for my team, today, my community, my friends, La Familia, that have supported me. And I'm not denying the exchange of whispers, champs. I'm not denying that to all of you out there, it looks bad. I have no way of knowing if the Twitch users thought our exchange of whispers was inappropriate. If it was, I apologize. All I know is that I never did what Twitch, Cody Connors, or the public is claiming that I did.
Is Twitch made these claims, or is he just using the employee as ex-employees as a stand-in? Yeah, I said at the very beginning that he can reapply for monetization at the end of September. Why? Why was he even... Did he say why he was demonetized? Did YouTube give a reason?
That's it. I'm not saying anything more about any of this, right? Unless I need to, because trust me, I have more I haven't disclosed. I just want to get back to what we do best. Put on a show and climb our way to the tippity top of the mountain, man. In our own lane.
Be in his own island.
Nice. Do you believe him? I think everything. Everybody. Actually, I've seen so many people do so many stupid things that now it's hard to believe in basic self-preservation. My assumption, if he has over 92 IQ, my assumption is that everything he said here is 100% true. He's speaking very specifically, so I think we can pretty easily figure out what happened. I doubt he would lie at this point when there are so many people that know exactly what's happened. I would imagine there's records of all of this shit, and it's a hugely public ordeal. So my guess would be everything he's saying is pretty true. Yeah.
What has he said that you think? Because maybe I missed something. What has he said that's like, oh, interesting? He said that.
Nothing.
And
It's all the same shit as before. You just probably exchange inappropriate messages with a 16 or 17-year-old. Yeah.
That's it. People want show the message, release the messages, show the messages.
What would he gain from suing Cody Connor's 10K max? Well, you'd get a retraction. I think that would be the important thing, right?
People want show the message, release the messages, show the messages. What are we in second grade?